All right, number 14. We are making our way out of the mediums into the hards. So, a boat costs X dollars, and this cost is to be shared equally by a group of people. In terms of X, how many dollars less will each person contribute if there are 4 people in the group instead of 3? All right, so I see X's in the answer choices. I see X's in the question. I see in terms of X. That's going to be assigned to me to plug in my own number for X. Now, again, just like with number 2, I'm going to do the plug-in method, and then I'll show you the algebra method. Again, I recommend the plug-in method, and you're going to see why. Alright, a boat costs X dollars, and this cost is to be shared equally by a group of people. Alright, so I want to plug in a number here for X. You can plug in any number. However, there are certain numbers that are just going to be easier to plug in than others. So this is what I mean. So we're going to have a number of dollars, X, that's going to be divided by 4 people and divided by 3 people. So I'm going to want to pick an X that's going to be divisible by 4 and 3. So for my X, I'm going to pick 120. Now again, you could pick 100, you could pick 2, you could pick 1,000. They're all going to work mathematically. You're just going to have to juggle some weird numbers. But you're going to see picking 120 is going to make this a lot easier. All right. How many dollars less will each person contribute if there are 4 people in the group instead of 3? All right. If there are 3 people in the group, each are going to pay 120 divided by 3. They're each going to pay $40. If there are 4 people in the group, they're each going to pay $30. So what is the difference between how much someone pays if there's 4 versus 3? Just $10. Now this is our answer. Now we're going to go to the choices and we're going to look for this in the choices. A is X over 12, so that's 120 over 12. What do you know? That's 10. Looks good. And again, we're going to check B, C, D, and E. I'm not going to do it, but you should always check to make sure you don't have any copies. And if you do have, say, A and E work, plug in another number, run through it again, and you'll be able to eliminate one or the other. Just skimming through them briefly, none of them seem to work. The only one that works is A. Now, the algebra method is a little bit more complex, but not that bad. All right, so if there are 4 people dividing the cost, they'll each pay X over 4. Versus, actually, I probably should have done the, yeah, I'll do it over here. Oh, let me just erase all this. If there are 3 people dividing the boat, they each will pay X divided by $3. Now, if there are 4 people dividing the cost, it's X divided by 4. And the difference in how much these people pay versus these people pay will just be this fraction. These subtraction, this fraction. So I can't subtract these without getting a least common denominator. So that'll be 12 is good. So that'll be 12 and 4x minus 3x over 12, which is just x over 12, which is just a. So as you can see, this is a little bit rougher in some ways. I like this much better. As long as you pick easy numbers, you don't have to, but picking easy numbers, you can see, it just runs through so quick and so easy.